James Bond movie that's like the Star Wars.
So why are they? So why is Mr. Craig's eggs James Bond using the GX dual disc?
I don't know. I
Uh,
found this. I found this online a while ago, and I knew I had to use
the
it.
Cheetle machine is there.
Yes, Cheetle Machine is far easier to find than Ned Leeds is.
Where were you gonna put him?
That's a very good question. So, fun fact: this film's poster has some really interesting ideas in that it apparently does not have any particular concern with the big montage of characters that the previous Bond films had on their posters, and instead decided to go for more of a gun barrel aesthetic, which I appreciate, but makes it more difficult for shenanigans. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Mehvies, and today, you know his name, you know the number. It's James Bond Casino Royale, the 2006
Yep.
film. The very first
Yep.
of the reboot-era James Bond films, although there are some cast carryovers that led some very stupid people on the internet to believing that this was actually a sequel of sorts.
Oh God.
But, it's
Eh,
the internet. People will believe anything.
yeah. Yep.
And today,
Anyway,
we
so
are watching the unrated extended cut that was available on the 4K, only on the 4K, and I believe in various European nations, because for some reason, that's the only one they put on the 4K, and for some reason my Blu-ray just wasn't wanting to rip right. So I thought, hey, what if I throw the 4K in the disk drive and see if that'll work? Because I didn't think I was going to be able to rip it and then make MKV
and
opened it
lo and behold,
perfectly fine. So, we're going to go ahead and get started now in a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Fun fact, there's also two different playlists for the film. One has, on the disc, one just has English and Japanese audio tracks, and the other has English, Japanese, French, Spanish, German, Italian, and a bunch of other stuff on there. There's like two different Japanese dubs of the film.
why why is the Columbia logo in black and white?
Oh, you'll see, actually. This is actually really neat here. Yeah, so the opening sequence of the film is actually in black and white. Prague, Czech
Prague,
Republic.
1985. I'm joking.
Yeah, no, this is set in 2006. This is a
I
modern
know.
day reimagining of Casino Royale.
A modern day reimagining of the 1950s public domain film that we viewed, which was full of Yu-Gi-Oh references.
Yeah, that here's the very first glimpse of our James Bond for the film.
So Daniel Craig, one of the first movies I actually ever watched with him in it was The Golden Compass.
Very first thing I saw him in was Tomb Raider.
Angelina Jolie
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
The framing, the lighting. They don't make many films in black and white like this. Even the films that are in black and white don't use the color this effectively.
Imagine
Like
somebody
the
walks into the stalls and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna drop it to." Oh my god.
I think the last time
Um,
I saw a film that used black and white this effectively was either Fury Road Black and Chrome, Justice League Justice is Gray, and Logan Black and Noir.
he
Yeah.
died being for he died being forced to drink piss.
And we can see a little bit of inspiration from the Bourne films, which we have not seen yet, but I decided to give us a bit of a break from spy films for a little while. Oh, we'll get to the Bourne films in, let's say, about 6 months. Once we get done with the Bond films, we'll come back and we'll do the 4 Bourne movies.
Yep.
And you can tell this is artificial grain. This isn't actually shot on 16 millimeter, because it's got that weird shimmer effect that artificial grain has. But unlike most artificial grain, this actually adds to the scene rather than just being a. I like how they don't even finish. They don't even let him finish. Boom! And the
Nice little
first
nod.
little bit of color we get here is the blood running down the screen. And here we have one of my all-time favorite Bond songs, one of my all-time favorite songs.
Mads
Chris-
Mikkelsen is in this.
Yep. Chris Cornell's You Know My Name. And this is one of the best opening sequences in Bond history, too.
Yep. As far as I can tell.
The fractal explosions off of the clubs is just really neat to watch. And then you have the suits like they're like their planes and their bullets and then their blood. The rotoscoping, the rotoscoping of the martial arts is fucking amazing. Like I would love to see a movie entirely in this style, but I understand why they don't do it. Oh, hi Hans Gruber.
Remember, that's not a Christmas movie. No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Nope.
Christmas is all about family, and that movie's about John McClane reuniting his family. Yeah,
Nope.
Alexander Witt was the second unit director.
It's about
We've
how
seen
Don
his name
McClane
before.
stopping a group of terrorists.
That's a secondary plot.
No, it isn't. It's the primary
terrorists,
plot.
the terrorists are in the way of his reunion with his family. And perhaps a facilitator for such.
Vin Diesel is not in that movie. If Vin Diesel were in it, sure, we could make it about family, but Bruce Willis is the star.
Listen, we can... I'm sure we can see about getting a remake of Die Hard done with Vin Diesel. We'll just put him in the mocap suit for Groot, it'll be fine. Yep, music by David Arnold. This is a really good score as well. Yep. Performed by Chris Cornell, written and produced by Chris Cornell and David Arnold. Yeah.
Pew, pew.
Now there is a bridge on the proper song version of this. Try to hide your hands, get out of feel. Life is gone with just a spin of the wheel. Yeah, and that's not included on this, the movie version. Imagine my surprise, because the way I listened to this song for the most part was I took the DVD, ripped the opening sequence, chopped it down, and turned that into an MP3. So when I actually got the CD with the song on it, I didn't realize that was there. Welcome to Uganda,
Alex,
with Open Bar.
do any of these people know Dewey?
Unfortunately, Ugandan Knuckles is yet to be born.
Ooh.
But I can reassure you that everybody in Uganda knows Kung Fu.
You just do.
Hmm.
It's that simple. He's the man with the golden gun.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's Christopher Lee.
Yeah, Mr. Martin Campbell is returning from GoldenEye, which is perhaps the best Bond movie of all time. I will hold up The Living Daylights as being really, really good as well, but GoldenEye is fucking undeniable.
All that moolah.
License to Kill, and was also really good, but But
All of that
Martin.
moolah is fake. Is fake money. Money and specifically meant for or a theme park.
Hmm. Yeah, Martin Campbell has also done The Mask of Zorro, Legend of Zorro, Vertical Limit, and Jackie Chan's The Foreigner.
And then there was that one time at band camp.
Excuse me.
You are excused.
Unfortunately, he also directed Green Lantern, but that film was not his fault.
Oh, we know whose fault it was.
Warner
Warner
Brothers.
Brothers.
We have also seen our friend Mads Mikkelsen here, Mr. Lashif, in he was
Doctor
the leader.
Strange.
Yeah, in Doctor Strange, he was the leader of the Zealots in that film.
Caecilius.
Caecilius, yes.
Meanwhile, in I like to move it, move it.
He also played Sir Tristan in King Arthur, and we'll be seeing him again in Star Wars.
What are you talking about?
And he's the third actor to play Gellert Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts films as well.
Yep,
Yeah,
replacing Johnny Depp.
that's a mongoose. That's what mongoose do. They eat snakes.
Yes, they see snakes. They're like, tasty.
Oh, unfortunately, yeah. So he also played Jurgen Voller in Indiana Jones 5. Unfortunately,
Alex, why are you talking about
films
movies
that
that
don't
didn't
exist.
happen?
Yeah. And then there's also the film that shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't be happening is Mufasa the Lion King, in which he plays a character named Kyros. But he is perhaps best known for playing Dr. Hannibal Lecter in the Hannibal TV show.
Which, as you might know, is kind of a no-brainer.
Yes. He also has a habit of faking his fandom for movies. Like when they were doing auditions for this film, he I think he bought a book that summarized all the James Bond films and read it before the audition in a couple of hours. Yeah. So that he could pretend that he was a fan. Bum 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 bum.
What is this? The A-Team?
This is something the A-Team would do. I can totally picture George Papard behind the wheel of that loader, or
Alex, I
with
thought this was a
chopping
spy
on a
thriller,
cigar.
not an A-Team movie.
God, they should have made an A-Team James Bond crossover.
They wouldn't have been smart enough to think to think
Well,
that.
they weren't smart enough to make an A-Team sequel either. So yeah. And in case you're wondering, this is part of the reason why Daniel Craig has such a love-hate relationship with these films.
Because of the stunts?
Because of the stunts. He has been quoted on numerous occasions of saying, one, he loves playing the role, but two, he fucking hates the stunts. And before the last one, he he said he had two conflicting statements. One saying that he'd rather gouge his eyes out than come back to the role. Oh, and saying that he'd rather gouge his eyes out before seeing somebody else play it, too.
How odd.
Yeah. Me personally, I would have rather gouged my eyes out than been in No Time to Die, but we'll get there eventually. Now this, I'd say this is a bit less James Bond and perhaps a bit more Max Payne writing a,
Maximum pain.
or maybe a bit more Bruce Campbell. Well, because Hawaiian shirt,
Next James Bond.
nonchalantly
Next
riding
James,
a fucking crane up.
next next James Bond movie will have Bruce Campbell as the titular role. Nice. When both combatants thought to throw the gun at the opponent.
Yeah, see, Bond is being very smart here. Or he was keeping his weight low so that he wasn't, and not moving his legs around a lot, so that he wasn't shaking his footing much.
So how much of his own stunts does Daniel Craig do?
Uh, well, you're about to see. It's not quite, I wouldn't exactly say it's about Tom Cruise level, well, but he's about to do some really wacky shit, like that, yeah, that's a stand-in right there. But there's some other, yeah, that's parkour. You can tell this is the early 2000s, well, this is the late 2000s. Hardcore parkour! Yeah.
The Office ended up making a reference to that.
Yeah. I know a guy who does parkour. He's fucking crazy. In a good way, I mean. Yeah.
Who does he think he is? Samus from Metroid?
I was gonna say, hey, well, this guy's hopping around like Spider-Man, and Bond is having to, get around like a normal human being. Yeah, so, yeah, look at that.
Oh,
Daniel
yeah.
Craig actually did that. That's just one of the things that he does in this film. Yeah, and let me tell you from experience, jumping off something that high is not good for your knees.
Nope.
Even if you know how to fall like I do, it's not good for your knees. You're gonna get a big old jarring sensation. That was how Russell Crowe broke both of his shins.
During what?
Robin Hood, actually.
Ah, so the edgy Robin Hood, not
Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
Well, it's less edgy than the fucking Taron Egerton one with Jamie Foxx.
One of the most charismatic big dudes on Earth.
They turned Jamie Foxx into Little John, but they turned Little John into basically like Alfred from Batman. In fact, the whole thing is a giant Batman pastiche. This would have made for a great level in a video game. Unfortunately, the Casino Royale game was cancelled.
Lame.
But they did wind up reusing all of the levels that they'd made for the game in the, well, in the Quantum of Solace game, because they didn't have a finished script.
And then Daniel Craig was used for the GoldenEye game on the Wii.
Yep. I quite like that game. Irish whip out of the window. Hey
Hey now, let's not be hasty. You shoot me, I shoot your guy. Think you could shoot me faster than I could pull the
Bond
trigger?
hasn't even drawn his own gun at this point. Did I not have subtitles on? Is that only forced subs? Might be. There we go. Oh, that's subtitles for the commentary track. What the fuck?
Okay then. So he basically just code Veronica to hit his way out of that situation.
Yep.
For those wondering, look up the opening scene to Code Veronica. It is quite bonkers.
Resident Evil is a, Resident Evil as a series has some interesting things that go on in it. Code Veronica is perhaps the weirdest the series ever got up to that point.
Meanwhile, is this our obligatory romantic interest?
Meanwhile, on a yacht.
Is this our obligatory? She looks the part.
Does she look like Ava Green?
Is she Ava Green?
I forgot you don't know who Ava Green is. Never mind. Yeah, you're
Except
Mads
for all.
Mikkelsen. I don't fucking believe you.
That's like believing Eric Roberts is going to play a good guy.
He has played a good guy, quite convincingly. It's just,
I don't believe you.
for some reason I think he's friends with David Dakota, and he winds up doing a bunch of voiceover work for Dakota's shitty films that he makes. Oh, can you tell this film was made by Sony?
Yes.
Sony laptop with an ad for a Sony TV on it. The
And
sheaf, you need to install AdBlock Plus.
or uBlock Origin.
uBlock Origin is no longer installable.
That's retarded. I
Yeah,
still have it.
Yeah, you can't get it from the Chrome Web Store anymore, although you can still get it from GitHub. Yeah, I also love how different this portrayal of M is compared to how she was in the in the Brosnan era, because she was a little bit more reserved, and here she's just like, right, I don't fucking care. Here I'm old, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Not that extreme, obviously. There is, as you know, it's Judi Dench. She's not a fucking Takahata 101 character.
Oh boy.
But
I was watching their creator commentary on Kai 2.9 abridged
oh yeah,
and
that
and
the fucking
and
Garlic Jr.
and,
thing.
and Vinegar is just Taka's normal speaking voice.
I noticed that, yeah.
Also,
Holy shit, Eric Roberts is from Biloxi, Mississippi.
Hey, he's from your home state.
Yeah, it's like finding out that Tignataro is from around here too. I was like, well, okay then.
Okay. Why does that man have the unspoken riz?
Gotta get that logo
Hey,
on the frame.
yep. Gotta always make sure that Sony is present.
If Sony made cars, they'd have them in every car would be a Sony brand car.
No, 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 no. How to maximize the branding? The they would be doing wheelies in every single scene,
See, I don't
or
have to
either they'd
fake
be
having to tie my
no,
shoes. My shoes come undone
no, wait,
all the
not
time for some reason.
no, wait, not wheelies. They'd be doing donuts, all to the tune of various Initial D songs. Though for the ones that like to drift, you hear Deja Vu.
Land Rover versus Range Rover.
Whew, 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 whew. Hey, who did that? Hey, some douchebag rear-ended my car. What was the douchebag's name and what did he look like?
I believe
I
his name
don't
was
know. What
Bond. James Bond. Don't be silly. Nobody has that name. It's not real.
do you mean it's not real? I saw it on his ID. And yes, it was on his name tag too. It said Bond, James Bond. I don't know
Exactly
why
the
it
same way.
there's a lot more of an air of mystery in this version of the character.
Smooth Jazz Hits, Volume 3. Well,
Then
better put on
suddenly,
some good tunes. Blu-ray drives in a computer in 2006. Don't make me fucking laugh.
mm, mhm.
Ooh, believe that might be a silver Aston Martin.
Now remember, Alex, we can't be suspicious. And he looks suspicious. Therefore, we should toss him out the airlock.
Hmm.
He's okay.
Hmm.
Thing. I think he's got more of the dad bod.
That's an interesting concept of that, but okay.
Is that Ava Green?
Hmm. Well, you have to ask yourself, does she look like a Vesper to you?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, apparently your password was password.
I must use my computer shirtless, otherwise it doesn't work as fast.
Does that make any sense?
It helps vent extra heat.
You're not really making a lot of sense, Mr. Bond. The
I'm
cameraman asked you to be shirtless for this scene, didn't he?
I'm using my pecs as a heatsink for the computer's CPU.
Yes, I would like a vodka. Very strong vodka. Suddenly Bond's like, ugh. Hey guys, I'm drunk. A very strong vodka. Is that Ava Green?
Ooh.
You're gonna make me look up what she he looks like, aren't you? So that's a yes.
Anyways, let's see here. I believe. Yes, that is Simon Abkarian as Mr. Demetrios. Trying to see if there's anything we've seen him in before, but he is mostly a French actor.
Okay, I summon the Dark Magician in attack mode.
So,
That's not
Mr. Bond, that's not. That's this game isn't. This game isn't about that. Not like that.
okay. And I summon the 5 pieces of Exodia.
Well, you know what the rules say. He wins.
I swear somebody is going to end up making that bet. You want to know how, if this were JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, or Jotaro would be able to bluff his way into winning by swiping a cigarette and a juice from a guy with Star Platinum?
Hmm.
You'll see what I mean when we get to part 3 of JoJo.
Yep. And people, people, who haven't read the book will not recognize that. Yeah, this is how Bond won the Aston Martin in a bet
in a high in a high stakes poker game.
or whatever the fuck kind of game this is. Frankly, I'm not too sure.
Somebody in some form of fan fiction should just write in, and James Bond pulled out the 5 piece of Exodia, and universal rules dictate that whoever does wins, no matter what card game you're playing. And I fuck you right in the pussy. Sorry, that came out wrong.
Okay, so looking up under J, crossovers between Yu-Gi-Oh! Jackie Chan Adventures, Gem and the Holograms, Jesse, and Jesus Christ Superstar. And surprisingly, the Jesus Christ Superstar crossover was not written by me.
Can't believe you actually went and looked it up. I can't believe it. Oh boy. Now imagine if the leading lady were played by Eva Longoria.
That'd be an
But enough about
interesting thing.
but enough about me. Let's kill you.
Apparently,
Yeah.
back in the 90s, Quentin Tarantino wanted to make a 1960s period piece Casino Royale with Pierce Brosnan as Bond, but Eon turned him down.
Let me guess, too much foot fetish?
Probably would have cost too much, to be honest. Or
So
it might
foot
have been a bit too
fetish?
gonzo for them. Apparently,
So
Ian Fleming's family wanted him to do it, but Eon Productions, Albert R. Broccoli's family didn't want to do it.
so foot fetish?
Sure.
Let's just say every shot was shot from the feet up.
Yeah, it's like Battlefield Earth, except it's all like shoe level shots.
And sometimes barefoot level, especially all the ladies. Because by contractual law, all the ladies in a Quentin Tarantino movie must be barefoot. We're gonna get to Quentin Tarantino's filmography, I swear.
Quentin Tarantino by written directino.
What was I mean, let's be real here, lady. Lady, hey, let's be real here, lady. You probably took one look at his mighty majestic penis and you were like, "Yep, yep, I want that inside me," she says. Oh, hold on. Phone call.
Ring, 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 phone call.
No, 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 it ring, 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 banana phone. Ring, 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 banana phone. I got this feeling. It's quite appealing. And I don't know the rest of the song.
Ring a ding a ding 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 a ding a ding 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 a ding ding dong dong.
You wanna know what abridgment actually popularized the banana phone song?
What?
Loop on the Third abridged by Scott Frericks.
Huh. Okay. See, I didn't
There
know
was
that
an
that was a
episode
real song. I thought that was something thing that was just made up for the internet.
basically, basically there was an episode where Lupin was feeling like thing this Egyptian artifact, and when he put it on, suddenly he heard the Banana Phone song.
Okay.
It was weird.
Body Worlds. I believe I've been to an exhibition like that at some point. Yeah, like you see like these this is some interesting sculpture work, really. I've either been to something like this or I've seen like a video walkthrough of something like this a long, long time ago. They're really cool. Like you get to see all the muscles and nerves and stuff. The weird fucking ways the human body interacts with itself.
Just know deep I just know that somebody is gonna visit somebody depraved enough is gonna visit at this museum and, well,
Damascus Steel.
neat. I could make it so that you accidentally stabbed yourself. Or I could make it so that that you accidentally stabbed
You
yourself.
know what I'd do at this point? I would have when I had both hands on it, that I would have shunted it off to the side and then broken his leg. But that's me. I'm not a super spy.
If this were a parody flick, I would have Bond just move his lips around like he's a puppet. Like,
Would it be a rubber
"Hello,
chicken, maybe?
everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm a corpse. I tried to stab somebody, and I failed."
Now, something I will say as somebody who has read some of the original James Bond novels, especially Casino Royale, for as short as some of the Bond novels actually are, they're really fucking boring.
I'm sure.
So if for some reason you wanted to experience the story of Casino Royale, just watch the movie. Like this movie.
Yeah.
It's accurate enough to the original book that you're not gonna miss anything by watching it versus reading the book. And the book really isn't that interesting.
Yep, we're gonna go through customs.
The other Bond books are better. I won't say they're necessarily that great because I've
I I'd be like, dude, people have gone people would have gotten on me for having my keys in my pocket.
yeah. Welcome to traveling on airlines post 9/11. It was a bitch beforehand, and it's even worse now. The color grading does a really good in this film does a really good job of making Daniel Craig's eyes stand out. It kind of makes him like the focal point of every scene that he even without having to, even without having to have him like framed up. The screen. And he just put it together.
8.
Could have been a code name, but it was a code phrase, actually.
Always look for the guy who's acting differently in the crowd.
Yep. Or the security guard not wearing a fucking belt. That is one big fucking plane.
Yeah.
I suppose people kind of overestimate the size of actual commercial airliners, because a lot of them aren't that big compared to the biggest fucking planes that exist. Because people see, a lot of
Yeah.
people don't travel by plane anymore, so they just see, that's not how you break somebody's neck, that would just give them a dislocated jaw. Oh no, it's Axel Foley's keychain. He's going to let off an immense flash. And if this was a Austin Powers film, it would have gone dun, 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 just a couple more times with only a couple more dramatic zooms.
Imagine a Austin Powers movie done parodying this film style.
That would have been nice. Although I suppose Johnny English kind of scratched that itch in some ways.
Wave
And
your
doing
hands like you don't care. Oh God.
God, I would love to know what they had to do to make that tanker pull off those kinds of driving stunts. I'll bet you it's empty. 90% it's empty. Oh yeah, the accordion bus. That's actually a good way to get them to bust through a bus like that. Don't put your fingers in his mouth, that's how they get bitten off. Yeah, anybody else remember Die Hard 2? I do. Yeah, that's
Oh,
not an
now.
exaggeration, by the way. That could actually happen. Those planes give off a lot of fucking turbulence when they come down.
Way. Ah, shit. Oh, God. Is the plane okay? Nothing's blowing up thus far. Just a huge amount of gasoline. Fucker.
Bond's doing the smart thing and not resisting.
Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
I'm not, you fucking twats!
He just blew up. I presume his character is an asthmatic.
Could be a nitrous oxide addict, but no, he's asthmatic, yeah.
Now what's going on here? Oh dear, she's dead. This man's supposed to be Q.
No, you'll meet Q later, actually.
I mean, to be fair, you did use her password and whatnot. I'll be right back.
Alright. Yep. So the intrigue of the film continues. This is, for a Bond film, this is a little bit unusual that the, titular Casino Royale, well, hasn't shown up yet. But I will say, think about what happened in the original Casino Royale, the climax version. It was already over. It was like the speedrun version of Casino Royale.
All right, what did I miss?
Oh, you missed Bond actually getting his assignment to Casino Royale because they figured
Ah,
out that Lashif is headed there. He was trying to short stocks related to the airline, which is what he was doing earlier in the film.
now is this Ava Green?
Vesper Lind, yes.
All right. Yes, I was correct the third time I asked this question.
Yes.
So this is our love interest for this movie.
Yes.
Oh dear, Alex
Yeah.
from the oh, never mind. We're not disconnected
Yeah, it said we're
for some reason.
not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming for some reason.
Some reason being the
Okay.
operative term. So projection is what is what she's assuming. So this film costs 102 to 150 million to make.
Yes.
It made 606 million in the box office, or 616 million in the box office. It was the fourth highest grossing film of 2006. You want to know what beat it out?
What?
Okay, so the three films that beat it out in order or of least to most: Ice Age: The Meltdown, The Da
Oh no.
Vinci Code,
Hmm.
and Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest.
Hmm.
We will proceed to fuck each other's brains out later. How do you know such things? It's not like I have a script on me or anything.
I'm sorry, our
Nope.
names happen to be on the poster next to each other.
Which, by the way, Pirates 2 is still the highest grossing Pirates movie out there.
I'd say it's probably the best. It's unfortunate about the sequel, but you know.
Well, I've got a jar of dirt.
I do like Pirates, even though it does have some problems. Though.
Same.
With open bar. Hmm. A little bit.
Oh, I have a feeling she'll be drawn to him later. I just have this strong feeling. 'Cause yes, Bond does have a massive ego, but at the same time, he's usually right. This message will self-destruct immediately upon reading this as part of the message. Honestly, I don't know what I was expecting. Displaying better trigger discipline than Mr. or Baldwin.
Hmm.
Then again, even ScarJo and what's her face from Black Widow displayed better trigger discipline.
Yes.
Florence Pugh. Are you sure about that?
The accountants aren't sending their best. They're sending bean counters and tightwads, and some I assume are good people. Oh, she's poking through her shirt.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so basically, she's good enough at her job that she was able to get him a perfectly fitted tuxedo just by taking a look at him.
Hot damn.
A perfectly fitted custom tuxedo. Excuse me.
He just met our main antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all you need to do is fill his drink with iocane powder. Iocane powder in his drink and make him drink it.
Drink it up.
Bond be like, that was easy. Okay. That doesn't leave me a lot of options, now does it? Monsieur Bond.
Perhaps I should call you Monsieur Bum.
Wow, everybody's getting in on the popular drink. Put in one of those little umbrella things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, that's the recipe for the world's most famous martini.
By the way, keep in mind that was partially a reference to Ruby because Yang did request for a little umbrella on her strawberry sunrise. Quite bold to be making out with her. Hmm. BRB.
All right. Oh, would you look at that? This is why you don't fuck around. Yeah, this is kind of setting up some things. I'm not gonna spoil much here. They're setting up some things that'll be happening later.
So, so how much context did I miss?
So these guys broke into Lashif's room to threaten him because he didn't. He's losing. He lost a bunch of money for him.
Ah, okay. So they are the IRS.
Essentially, yes. They are the Ugandan IRS.
Sorry, I would have had my meal set up earlier, but the problem was that I had a that my parents had a guy working on the on the tile. I was
Oh
stripping
yeah.
off the tile and then replacing it with a new one.
Yep, I got you.
I apologize for these moments where I'm absent.
Oh, looks like we're gonna have to get a new suit.
Yep, definitely.
We don't have time to fuck around. We don't have time to fuck around.
Goes to show that Bond definitely can't and take the situation seriously even when he's being arrogant.
And when he's getting his ass kicked too. Like he's capable, but he's like not everybody not everybody's perfect.
Yeah,
That's
no.
it's the best. This is the best way. I think this was the best way they could have portrayed Bond at this point in time. Because like Brosnan and dodged more than his fair share of bullets, but I don't think Moore ever, but towards the end, and he was evading some truly ridiculous shit. and in the Moore era, which is that still pretty well captures the Bond concept, so to speak. People still, well, people have that in their minds a lot. He was seen as practically fucking
Oh
invincible.
dear.
Yeah.
That's not good. This is gonna probably turn into some kind of misunderstanding, isn't it? Oh, never mind. She's angsting.
Yeah, she
You know,
dropped her wine glass and decided to go sit in the shower. Like, nope.
you know, you should have brought a chair in here with you.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, that quote from iCarly that I quoted there, or that was used for the page image of Shower of Angst, which, by the way, that movie's image,
Oh yeah.
this movie's image of that is used for the page image. he does care. Let's hope if they get married that she doesn't end up getting killed off. Very unceremoniously, mind you. God, I hate that movie. Mm.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's not very good.
I'd have to say it's one of the worst James Bond movies, if not the worst.
I would still say that A View to a Kill is worse. Ooh, blackjack. Unfortunately, that's not what we're playing today.
Badly.
The best thing to do when you're playing a game like this is not to attempt to have no expression on your face, but to have many expressions. That way, anybody who's trying to find a tell will just be fucking confused. Like, look down at your cards, tap your nose, look down at your cards again a couple minutes later, scratch your ear, look down at your cards again, and twirl on your head on the table. Get asked to leave and never come back.
Look down at your cards again and strike a pose, and you say, huh.
Hooah!
uh,
By the way, you'll see Inspector Gordon over there.
what, Gary Oldman?
Oh, no, Gary Oldman is not in this film. I was talking about the other one.
Which other one? Oh, the Batman?
Yes. Oh, pair of jacks.
You know what's among one of the weirder things that the JoJo Shadow has done in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
What?
Every time Jotaro is smoking a cigarette, we just see this big shadow over his mouth,
Uh.
which I'm like, you guys have like anime has shown people smoking. I don't think we want the CIA to do anything in this point.
Felix Leiter, a character we haven't seen in a long time. We better get away from the Rohypnol. Hmm. Can you tell this was 2006?
Yes. Glug, glug, glug. If this were Austin Powers, he'd chugging the whole thing down. I'm suddenly very depressed right now.
I've... Imagine, like, how is he still standing? I put 12 vials of iocane powder in that, in that martini. He's the Dread Pirate Roberts. Of course he fucking. uh,
So I presume this concoction is for whatever he just drank.
he's trying to. Basically, what he's trying to do is get himself to vomit
I
so
see.
that he can get the the poison in his stomach out.
Makes sense.
Yeah, now he's using a field kit to check what the hell he's got in his blood.
Oh, no worries. I'm just going. Oh, no worries. I'm just going into cardiac arrest. Wait, what? I'll be right back.
Yes, thank you. I know how defibrillator works. Ah, one of the leads got disconnected. That can actually happen. Or could actually happen. These days they have a little bit better connections on these things. They're less likely to come undone by accident. Anybody who's interested, you should go to see if there's a place you can get AED and CPR training near you. You'll learn how to use something like this. You'd be surprised how much more advanced the ones that exist today are than the one that was in this film. Because it's,
I've returned.
I, I was just explaining how the AED system works and how these days you actually have like ones that talk and have a metronome. And it'll tell you how to what rhythm to keep your CPR to and things like that.
Sorry, I had something in my drink.
That last hand killed me.
I swear it. I swear it. Or after watching in that part in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's hard for me to really see a poker game as, ten ends after how intense the one in there was. confident in his hand.
You have to create a complicated system of bluffing versus falling. If you don't have the ability to back it up, it's really good if you do have the ability to back it up. Yeah, this is why they changed it to po- poker in this film, because the
The
oh, is it
original, it was
Baccarat?
just
Baccarat's
Baccarim.
yeah, Baccarat's rules are so fucking complicated. An inside flush too.
Oof.
The
Great
fact
fluff.
Yeah, the fact that Bond was able to pull that off at all is fucking insane.
Indeed.
The sheer the sheer odds, the goddamn balls on this man. Eh, I'm always almost dead an hour ago.
Much is factually true.
Yeah. Yeah, Bond tipped the dealer $1 million, by the way.
Of course he did.
Just handed him one of the giant red chips.
Anything to make the odds in your favor.
And may the odds be
Espe-
ever in your favor.
Especially when up against a guy funding terrorism.
Yeah.
Further reasoning on the logic here, go watch Solid JJ's sketch on Batman versus Riddler. Just use Google to solve every riddle. Oh, and then Riddler will be like, and that justifies you cheating in every conceivable way. Which that in itself is also a nod to Assault on Arkham, as Amanda Waller used Google to solve Riddler's riddles. And she flat out said, I have Google just like everyone else does. Oh, there's something missing. He got kidnapped. I I feel like we're missing.
Hmm? What do you mean?
I feel like, as in, it's a bit of an odd transition from that to out in the open road.
Possibly, yeah. And if you listen closely, you can hear Masato's car getting hit by a nuke in the mix there.
Is
And there's the MI6 transponder chip.
So what are we gonna do? Take him out by the docks?
Jesus Christ, that is a fucking 2006 dress right there. Or that blonde's got on.
Yep.
The leather straps, the practically ass cleavage going on back there.
Mhm. So were we just in Winston Churchill's sex dungeon and emporium?
Oh yeah, in case you're wondering, this is what the bottomless chair in the Peter Sellers movie was a reference to. We're about to see one of the most infamous scenes in all of cinematic history. Fun fact,
Isn't
this
that
aired
it?
completely uncensored on ABC television back in the day.
Oh, geez. He is straight up naked.
Now it is, yeah. Instead of a carpet beater, we now have this. And you can see this is character here, or in the way Bond's holding his stomach. He's ugh, he's braced for a hit that isn't going to come to his torso.
Mhm.
Ugh. Ugh.
Sh- You know the Muffin Man?
The
We're not
Muffin
doing
Man?
this. We're not doing this sketch.
But do you know the Muffin Man?
Now, this must have been for Craig and Mikkelsen to see this film.
I probably would have cracked up a dozen times shooting this.
A bit like, I'm sorry, I can't stop looking at his wang. Just they will never make a movie where the hero and villain are this deadly serious again.
Skyfall.
No, I mean like in this current day and age.
Oh, yeah. Probably not, actually. Because, like, now the weird thing is, even though there is apparently, like, an extra minute, 2 minutes worth of footage in this film, as opposed to the original cut, I've never. I don't recognize any differences, really.
Well, Mikkelsen is dead.
Because I figured that this scene was gonna be, like, a little bit more brutal. Oh, because I characteristically, like I said, this scene was aired uncensored on ABC back in the day, and when I like I was surprised when I watched the film on DVD later, um, that they just hadn't cut anything out of it at all. Well, it was brutal, and excuse me. And then they like this one is supposed to have it's unrated. It's supposed to have more like graphic violence and things. But I don't really recognize a whole lot of changes.
Some changes.
Well,
What? Okay then. Maybe he might have said, "Don't tase me, bro."
Don't wake me up before you go.
Don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo.
There are a lot of sevens in that. I don't know about you, but after an ordeal like Bond had been through, I'd be wearing nothing but parachute pants for a while.
Yep.
You could mistake me for a member of MC Hammer's entourage.
Both figuratively and very literally.
Hmm. Hmm. Now let's see if what I've got still works. That's not exactly what I'd call a laughing matter. I've fallen like that. It's not fun. Yep.
Don't go sleeping on sand, Bond. You're gonna end up with sand where no man should ever have sand.
I hear it's coarse, and rough, and irritating. It gets everywhere.
We do mean everywhere.
Gonna use our Sony laptop out in the middle of nowhere on 2006 Italian Wi-Fi. 800 kilobytes, 800 kilobytes going that fast on 2006 Wi-Fi. I don't believe you. Out in the middle of the fucking ocean.
I get the distinct impression
Or a
that
lagoon.
they're not gonna be accepting his resignation anytime soon.
Hmm.
Just call it a hunch, especially since we got so much of the movie still left.
Yes.
Oh, the one-eyed man, as opposed to the one-armed man.
Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but this Bond guy keeps looking at me.
Ooh.
Can you forget Love and Pride, though? Because of that, is it killing you inside? I do find it somewhat unfortunate in a number of ways that they haven't done any major spy crossover films between the big spy properties.
Ooh.
Mm.
Somebody's a traitor.
Funny how they passed a guy who looks like it just happens to look like Joe Pesci.
Ooh, Biggie Small.
And then you kind of show her through those, through that grating there. And then with the cross hatching, it almost looks like she's in crosshairs. I'm sure that was intentional.
Yep.
They probably went on location scouting, and Martin Campbell said, hey, if we shot through here, it'll look like she's in the crosshairs.
Bitch.
Because you could just bring the camera down the other way, but... Eh. Yeah, there's a bunch of floating buildings in Venice. And those are part of what keep them floating.
Yep. Because Venice is a sinking city.
Ever so.
Contrary to what Spider-Man and No Way, or as contrary to what Spider-Man Far From Home would try to tell you.
Yeah, it's interesting to compare these two as films with what this film does with the location, considering there's only like we're only here for about 15 minutes, I think, at most. And how it utilizes the unique architecture versus how Far From Home just kind of it could have been shot on a set for all anybody knows or cares, you know?
Yep. Hmm. That could be useful. It's a good thing there's nobody important aside from the main character or in the love interest just inside of the building.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, oh boy.
Yep, and here we see the knife fight from the silhouettes at the beginning of the film.
So the film had kind of given everything away without giving everything away.
Yeah, because of the abstraction, it just looks kind of. I was like, oh, that's neat. Hey, I think
Kind of
somebody's
remind,
seen Lethal Weapon too.
kind of reminds me of
Ugh, that's a long fucking spike.
it kind of reminds me. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of how Alfred Hitchcock markets his movies.
Hmm.
Wow.
I wonder how many times or how much oxygen they had to go through when they were filming this scene. Because underwater scenes always seem to go really wrong.
Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Bond can never catch a break, can he?
Yeah. But I will say,
Like, you
as
know,
opposed to On Her
like
Majesty's
even when
Secret
she
Service, as this happens as part of the climax of the movie, and there was actual events going on throughout, as opposed to constant wallowing meandering about bullshit that doesn't matter. Oh hey, Uncle Ben, you could take some fucking CPR lessons from Bond here.
Adam Webb beef.
Huh? Oh yeah, Madam Web. Okay, Bond, you can stop groping her. Hurry, this is supposed to be CPR, not tit feel up.
She's dead. Never imagine I'd feel bad for a traitor.
Yeah. You can tell. Like, I'm kind of surprised Daniel Craig's never been nominated for an Oscar to my knowledge. Because, like, you can tell
You
from
should
the
have.
look on his face, he is torn between being heartbroken and pissed off.
And that motherfucker got to walk away with the damn case.
Hmm.
Mm.
Not right now. No.
Has it?
And this is part of the. So in the books, this made the the whole thing about like the arc with the girl in On Her Majesty's Secret Service a lot more impactful and important because it was like this was like the first time Bond had really like felt a kind of human connection with somebody else. Almost like because he's kind of just like a cold, ruthless robot for the most part. And then that was the second one. And then in that movie, sorry, in that book rather, in the original book, you spent a lot more time with the wife, getting to know her and them having like an actual connection. There were like bits that went called back to Casino Royale and all the other books and whatnot, so you could very much more understand the connection that he had with the wife and the actual intrigue of the movie. Because they did the books out of order, though, they kind of fucked that up. But it did lead into Diamonds Are Forever, which has one of the best revenge plots in any James Bond film.
Oh yeah, it does. And whose girlfriend and you just killed? Now we get one of the most badass in James Bond introductions of all time. James Bond.
Yeah. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
This is in a very elite club of James Bond films. This is one of the best directed, scored. It's just it's a perfect storm of amazing, you know?
Hell yeah, it is. So next time when we get to Mr. Bond, we'll be getting to Quantum of Solace.
Yes, Quantum of Solace is another one of those films that was, I believe it's the first strike era film we're going to be doing here.
Which, by the way, Quantum of Solace was seventh highest grossing film of 2008.
Yeah.
Would you like to know the movies that outdid it?
Well, I know that Transformers Revenge of the Fallen did.
Nope, that was 2009.
Uh, huh. Okay.
Quantum of Solace came out in '08.
Oh, right.
Let me go through the
Okay.
list from lowest as grossing to highest grossing.
Okay.
Madagascar Escape to Africa, Mamma Mia,
Oh, God.
Hancock, Kung
Mamma
Fu
Mia,
Panda,
starring a previous James Bond.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and my personal favorite movie of all time, The Dark Knight.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, Quantum of Solace is the first it is going to be the first 2000 and something writers strike era film we'll be doing, I think. That'll be that'll be interesting. Um Apparently
Oh,
the
and
script
on
was
this,
the finished script was completed 2 hours before the writers' strike began.
Oh, and the third movie in Daniel Craig's career, Skyfall, it was the second highest grossing movie of 2012. Guess
Right
which film
behind.
outdid it?
Bow, 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 bow,
Yep,
bow, bow. Yeah.
and it outdid The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I'd say it deserves it out to The Dark Knight Rises.
And then we have the third, rather than we have the fourth Daniel Craig and Bond movie, Spectre, which was the sixth highest grossing film of 2015.
Hmm.
Care to take a guess as to which films outdid it?
2018. That would have been
No, no, 2015.
2015. That would have been Age of Ultron.
Yep, that's
And
up there.
The Force Awakens. I know that. I know those two
Yep.
outdid it.
Force Awakens was the highest grossing film of 2015.
Yeah,
But
we'll
here's the
be.
list. Here's the list in order. Minions, Age of Ultron, Furious 7, Jurassic World, and Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Uh, that's Minions. That's unfortunate. Blood runs through my veins. You know my name.
And
Name. Name. You know my name.
No Time to Die, I which I believe is the last of the Daniel Craig era movies,
Hmm.
was a fourth highest grossing film of 2021. The two out of three of the films that outdid it were from China, so they don't count.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only one that does count is Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, Spider-Man: No Way Home. Home is.
It made nearly 2 billion.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we will see you guys tomorrow.
For Bataz,
Beat-ass. Yes, bat-ass.
I don't well we never get to see a DCAU Batman's in his buttocks, but then again, when it comes to Bruce Campbell, all right, when it comes to Bruce Tim style of Batman movies, or style stuff, we don't. Men are often drawn with very non-existent waist. Like they're basically a triangle.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
anyways, time to sign off, I guess. See y'all later.
yep.
Bye.